To the next lesson, creating your brand website. In this lesson, we're going to cover the easiest way to create a website for your brand. So when it comes to creating a website, the easiest way to create a website is to use a web-based service. These services aren't perfect, but have come a long way in recent years. There are numerous different options available, and the one we recommend is Wix.com. So Wix.com, it's a drag and drop website builder. You don't need any coding knowledge, HTML knowledge, nothing is required. All you need to be able to do is drag and drop the elements you want to design onto your website. And it's free to start. You can get a basic brand website up very quickly and then upgrade for about $10 a month to a whole range of features. You do have other options though. There are other website builders available. And if you have the resources available, you may consider investing in a web designer to build your brand website for you. If you are limited on funds though, prioritize your investment into inventory and build your website yourself or have a friend help you. You can redesign a more advanced website later in the process when you have a brand that is making profit on Amazon. So let's head over to Wix and build your brand website. Okay, so I'm on Wix.com and the first thing I want to do is click Get Started. And then I'm going to use my brand domain email to register on my account. Got to type my email again. Enter a strong password. And click sign up. At this point, Wix is going to prompt you to answer some questions. You don't need to do this, so just come down to the bottom right hand corner and click skip. At this screen, we've tested the ADI creates a website for you, and it doesn't really produce what we need, so we're going to go ahead and use a template. So click choose template on the right hand side. And once this page loads, you want to click blank templates. And the one we're going to use is called strip header layout. So we're going to select that and click edit. What this is going to do is load the Wix website page builder inside of your internet browser. Within this tool, there's loads of features, and Wix does have a full sort of help area with full training on how to use this page builder. But I'm going to walk through setting up the brand website for our Verve Kitchen brand. So I'm going to close the welcome video, and I'm going to be presented with the home page. So the first thing to know about this is how to navigate through your pages. So this template comes with 4 pages set up, which is home, about, services, and contact. And if you go to menu and pages, you can navigate through these pages by just double clicking, and that will load you onto that page to make changes. You can change the name in your navigation, the name of the page, by just double clicking and changing that name. And then, as you're going to find out shortly, we can add and edit all of the text, the images, the logo, the colors, everything on this page we have full control to edit, and we're going to do that right now. So the first thing we need to do is come to our home page, and we're going to look to change the header. Now the pages I want to include on my website are home, and I'm going to make that title case. I don't like it all capitals. I'm going to create one called Our Story to start communicating our brand story. I'm going to create one for a future training called Discount Club. We don't need a gallery, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that page. And then I'm going to finally have a contact page, and again I'm just going to change it to lowercase contact. And as you'll see, what happened there is as I was editing the menu and pages, you'll see that it's making the changes live here on our website. So where it says name of site, I actually want to bring a logo in here, as I don't want to use a text. Now, if you don't have your logo created yet for any reason, then you can obviously just put Verve Kitchen, double click and click away. Let me spell that correctly. However, I do have my logo available. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and delete out those elements. So I'm going to click, and then we're going to hit the backspace button on my keyboard. And then I'm going to delete that again and hit the backspace button on my keyboard. And over on the right hand side, I'm going to come to add, and I want to add an image, and I'm going to go to my uploads, and then I'm going to my image uploads. And from here, I want to upload media. So I already have my design assets created and prepared for building this website. And this is something you want to work with your graphic designer to produce ahead of coming in and building your website. So let's click upload media, upload from computer. And in here, I have header logo. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. And you'll see that Wix will take a second and just upload that image into my media library within my Wix account. And whilst I'm here, actually, I'm going to come back and I'm going to upload all of my other assets that I need for later on. So we'll just wait for those to upload. Cool. So the first thing I need is my logo. So I've got that selected. We don't need to do that. Let's close that down. So I've got my logo selected and I'm going to click Add to Page. What that will do is it will drop it right in the middle here. So the first thing I need to do is bring the size of that image down, because it's a bit big right now. And I'm going to bring that up into my header. Let's bring it down again. And I want to make it about central. So you see, as you click, and what I'm doing is I click the image, I hold my mouse click down, and as I'm dragging it, you'll see the Wix page builder is giving me guidelines. So I can see that that is actual sort of central. And you see where it says attach to header at the top? Because I'm in the header area, and I've let go now and then click away, what will happen is when I navigate through my pages, you'll actually see that has been attached to all of my page headers, as you can see. And that's exactly how I want it. So I'm going to come back to my home page. I've placed my logo central. The next thing I'm going to do is click on the header area. This is known as the web page header. And you'll see where it says change strip background. I'm going to change my background, and I've already selected an image. So I'm going to go to image, and you'll see that I've got my saved files, and you can see I have my one called header image, and I'm going to click change background. Okay, so we can see that the image is now placed in the background of the header area, but it's not really placed in an ideal place because we can't see the photos. And we just pulled this image off the internet. It represents our brand well, kind of represents the target customer that we're going after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the background header image. I'm going to click change strip background again, and then I'm going to click settings. And from here, there's a couple of things I can play with. First off, we're going to leave it on scale to fit, which means it's going to scale the image to the width of the monitor that's loading it, or the screen that's loading it. But I'm going to set it to the bottom position to see what that does for me. Let's try top. Okay, so let's stick with middle for now. I'm going to enable parallax though, which is a really nice feature that adds a bit of depth to the website, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So I'm going to enable parallax. And then you'll see here there's a down arrow on that header area. This allows us to sort of change the height of this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this down a little bit. I'm going to come back to these settings and just see what happens when I select the bottom here. Disable none. Let's disable parallax. Top. Then put parallax on. And I'm basically just trying to bring this into a position where we can see the faces. There you go. So we can now see the faces. I may even consider editing this image and just taking some of this space off the top here so that the head of the model here is closer to the top of the website, because this is a bit of wasted space. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to re-drag my image now, my logo, and use those guidelines to find the center point. And as you can see, it's showing me the horizontal center of that header area in the purple line. And then it's also showing me the vertical center of the page. So I'm going to leave my logo there, click away, and that is placed. And at any time during building my website, I can click preview. And what that's going to do is preview the site. And I think that looks pretty good. And now look, if I scroll, you know I enabled that parallax setting. Notice how the website looks like it's scrolling over the top of the image. See how it sort of moves and looks like one is sliding behind the other? It just adds a nice little depth to the website and makes it look more professional. So that's what parallax scrolling enables. So from here, I'm going to click back to editor. And the next thing I'm going to look at is my menu design. So if I click onto my navigation, as it's known, my menu or navigation, I'm going to click design. And from here, I'm going to just have a look through the options. I think the one I'd like to use, let's have a look what options we've got here. I think I'll use this one here. So I'm going to click that and then click away, and you can see that's now changed my menu. And if I come back onto this, I should actually as well be able to edit the color. So if you go customize design, and we go to fill and color, drop down the text color, and I'm just going to make the menu black so it stands out a bit more. It's a bit darker on the page, so it's a bit easier to see on the eye. So okay, I'm happy with that. And then from here, the one thing I forgot to do actually is on the menu, but instead of having a home page, I'm just going to call this our products. So as soon as the visitor lands, the prospective customer lands on our website, they're presented straight away with our products. As you build out your website, you might want to have a home page and include a few different things there. And I encourage you to sort of have a look around the internet, have a look at some competing brand websites to get ideas of things that you should include on your website. But as we're just looking to build a very basic website at this point, as a credibility point for our customers looking and checking us out online, checking our brand online, and for later on when we want to get brand registry with Amazon, I'm just going to create the homepage to be our products page and include our product on there. And as you can see, Wix has noticed that we've done a lot of work on our website, so we should save our website as well. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save it as my brand, Verve Kitchen, and click Save and Continue. And that'll just make sure that our work is saved. And I believe from this point forward, oh, that was saved, perfect. I believe from this point forward, it will automatically save as well. But we don't need to worry about that as we will publish the website shortly. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do for the home page, as we know, it's going to be our products page. I need to change a few things. So the first thing I'm going to change is this. I'm going to call this my product type, the name of my product. So it'll be taco holder stand. I'm going to bring this image up. So I'm just going to click and drag and bring this image up and click the image and then click change image. And as I said, I've already prepared my images and I have an image that I'm going to use as my product image, which is this one here. So main product image and click choose image. And there you go, that's placed that there. Again, with the text here, I'm going to double click it and I'm just going to change the color to black to make it more prominent on the page. And I'm happy with that. We'll close that down. And then I'm going to copy in some holding text for my bullet points. Now, once you've written your listing, you'll simply use your Amazon listing bullet points as your content for this piece of text here. But for now, I'm just going to create about a paragraph worth of length of text, which is this one is here. I'm going to enable bullets, and then I'm going to highlight, Command C or Control C on your computer to make a copy of it. Click, hit enter on my keyboard, make a second bullet and paste it in, make a third bullet and paste it in, make a fourth bullet, make a fifth bullet. So the idea is we're trying to sort of imitate our Amazon listing here. Now, we most likely don't have the Amazon listing written yet, so I'm just using some holding sort of dummy text here as it's known. And by clicking on the end of the paragraph and hitting enter twice, I can add a space between the bullets. And then what I will do is once I've completed writing my Amazon listing, I can come back in and update this content to match my Amazon listing. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that right now. I do want to add a page title in a second, so we'll do that in a moment. But before I do that, I'm going to change out this image at the bottom. So I'm going to hit change image. And I prepared a banner image to use here. So homepage bottom image, and click choose image. Again, it's just a nice representation. It's from the same image set as this one at the top, so it's all consistent and represents our sort of target customer that our brand is looking to serve. Cool. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. Next thing I want to do is I want to add a button to my page. So I'm going to click the add and I'm going to click button. Let's find a nice button that really stands out. A tip from me on anything where you want the user to click, make it a contrasting color. So make it something that really stands out against the rest of the page. So I'm going to use this button here, this find out more button. And what I'm going to do is actually, do you see that drag again? We're going to drag it down and create a bit more space. And let's place this button in line. And again, you will always get these guidelines that come up. There you go. That looks good about there. Just drag it out. And we're going to double click. And I'm going to change that to buy now on Amazon. And for now, because we don't have our listing URL yet, I'm going to hit current window. And we're going to hit web address, in new window, web address, new window. And for now, I'll just put the Amazon homepage. And again, we can come back in and edit this at a later date. And then we'll go to design. And let's change the color of the button. So we're going to hit customize design, fill color. And you see this one here. Let's choose something that really stands out. So there's nothing there that I like. But if I click the plus icon here, I can move this cursor here and choose something maybe like let's find something that really pops on the page. Quite like an idea of something quite light up here. Cool. Yeah, I quite like that color. It's different to the rest of the page. It's contrasting. And if we click add there, you'll see it's changed the color. And then if I click close on that, I also want to change the text color, and I'm going to change the text color to white because it's going to be better. So I've changed the text color to white. That's good. And on the text, I'm also going to bold the text. And maybe just even increase the size a little bit. Not too much though. Make sure, and look, you can drag the image down a little bit just to make it look good. Okay, cool. So I'm happy with that. Let's close that down. Let's reposition that button and just make sure it looks right. So there, let's bring that in. Cool. And now you can see I've placed that button on the page. Probably a bit big still actually. So let's bring that into the text there. And there you go. That looks quite good, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm now happy with that. Let's reduce the height a little bit. Okay, yeah, I'm now happy with that. So that's the last thing I need to do on this page. We'll edit the footer in a second, but I want to add a title to this page. So I'm going to click Add. And I'm going to come to Text. And then we should see Big Title. So that's going to add it to the page. And then I'm going to double click and type Our Products. Now you'll notice I'm going to need to drag this out to create space for it. And then just make sure that I'm center on the page, which is there. Cool. Drag it down into space. And I'm going to need to bring everything else down a little bit just to space it out a little bit. You don't want it to look too cramped. You need people to be able to read the page. So let's just play around with the positioning of the page a little bit. Make some more space. That's good. Bring that down a slight tad. Cool. So that's looking good now. I might consider just bringing that down to meet that. And bring that title down a little bit. Cool. I think we're looking pretty good here. So I'm going to click preview. And as you can see, I might consider moving this product down a little bit actually in between the space. You always want to create symmetry in your website. So our products, homepage, got the parallax, logos in the header, nice logo, so nice header background that's got the parallax enabled, page title. As soon as someone lands, they see our product. We're going to use our bullet points from our Amazon listing at a later date, and we'll come back in and update this. We've linked currently to Amazon, which is fine. Just quickly make sure that link's working. Yep, Amazon.com. And then we've got a banner image and the footer. So flick back to editor. As I said, I'm just going to bring that down into the space a little bit. I think that looks good there. And then the final piece I want to edit is the footer. So I'm going to come down and click on the footer. And then I want to edit my brand. So I'm just going to change it to the copyright sign, the current year, which is 2019, and then our brand. So just double click and paste in copyright 2019 by Verve Kitchen and click away. And I'm happy with that. You'll then notice that on the right hand side here, you've got social media links. And it's always good to include social media links from your website so that your prospective customers and your fans online can find your brand and then find your social media profiles. Google also likes to see this, see you linking all of your different profiles together. This starts to create trust and authority within Google, which is going to improve your visibility within Google search results. So I'm going to click on this and click Set Social Links. So I don't intend to have Twitter. I'm just going to keep Facebook and Instagram for now. And at this point, we'll leave it as they are, and we can come back in once we've created these profiles and link up the correct profile. So I'm going to hit done for now. So cool, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to hit save. Cool, and hit done. So that's our homepage done. That is actually our products page. Next thing I'm going to do is go to our story. So menu, double click onto our story. And then from here, again, we just want to make some slight tweaks to the website. So first thing I'm going to do is change the header to our story, as that's the page we're on. I'm going to change, and now I'm going to type a little story about our brand. So I want you to put more effort into this piece than I'm about to, and really communicate sort of why your brand exists, who you intend to serve, what's your mission, why it's important that customers should buy from you and your brand, and put personality and really a heartfelt story into this. There's a saying that says storytelling is story selling. People connect with stories. So really take the time here to sort of explain your brand, why you created it, and what your mission and purpose of your brand is. Try and connect with your prospective customer at an emotional level. You want that customer to read this brand story, and in their head they go, yes, I connect with this brand. They understand me, my needs, my pain points, and what I'm looking for. And that is going to be the highest point of conversion if you get this right. Again, take some time to look at some of the bigger brands in your category online and take a look at their sort of about us pages and see the sort of language that they're using and try and emulate that language and really sort of put your heart into this story. But for this example, I'm just going to type "We are Verve" and I'm going to leave this dummy text here for now. I might just actually just bring that up to match it. And then here on the left, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to include our brand logo. So change image. And I'm going to select my logo. Cool. And just let's bring that up a little bit. Just to be there, central, there you go. Cool. And I might just bring this over, just try and get the spacing on the page right, bring that down maybe. Great. But as I said, you want to really put some time and thought into this and write a story that connects with your customer. So I'm happy with that. So that's my story done, my story page done. Next page would be Discount Club. Now at this point, you don't need to worry about this too much as we can come back and edit this later. And we will do in a later video when we talk about connecting your website into your ManyChat customer list. But for now, I'm just going to get the basics done. So Discount Club as the title. I'll leave this text here, and then we don't need this here. We don't need these elements here, so I'm going to delete all of these for now. And then we'll come back and place some content on this page in a later lesson. Cool, so I'm happy with that. And then finally, our contact page. So menu, hit the contact page. And what we'll do, if you don't have a phone number for your brand yet, or you don't want to include one, then just delete that. Use your registered address for your brand. And then let's include, our customer service email that we just set up. So it'll be customerservice@vervekitchen.com. Awesome. And then you will see that it automatically has a contact form. What I would do is just quickly click settings and just ensure that it's sending to the correct email address. So I'm actually going to change this to my customer service email address. And if you wanted to collect their phone number as well, you could. You don't typically need a subject line. The fewer fields there are for the customer or the user to complete, the more likely they are to submit the form. There's a notion of something called friction in marketing. The lower the friction, the better. So I don't want the subject line, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. All I want is their name, email, and their message. And I think that's enough to make contact with my customer. And for now, we'll leave unless you have the address, we'll leave the Google Map until we have that. But all you do is you come into settings, you can change sort of the zoom and everything here. You can allow dragging, you can turn off dragging. You can double click where it says company name, you can change the address and company name, so Verve Kitchen. And what this does is add a lot of credibility to the brand. Now you don't have to include this. You could delete this map completely and then just reposition these elements. But the more sort of real contact information you can include for your brand, the more credible and the more trusted that person is your customers are going to find it when looking at your brand website. It's a big, strong credibility indicator that you're a real brand and you can be trusted. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to click, it's already saved because the autosave's done, that's great. And I'm going to quickly go ahead and click preview. So right now, I can see I've got my header, our products, so let's scroll down, awesome, our story, lovely, discount club, and contact. And at this point, I'd encourage you also to, once we've published it, we need to check this on our mobile and just make sure that on our smartphone that everything's in the right place. Now, Wix does a really good job, and you can actually hit this switch to mobile here at the top to preview how it will look on mobile. So you can see that actually the text there is a bit big for the button on mobile, so I'd probably go in and reduce the size of that text a little bit. So if I go back to editor, and now I'm in mobile view, let's go. Next. That's fine. Just keep clicking next. You can play around with these. Next. Go to mobile editor.
Welcome to the mobile.
Oh, there you go. We're in. And now you can actually just reposition for mobile. So I'm just going to double click on this button here and just make sure the button's a bit wider. That back to top button. That's fine. By now, okay, cool, so that all looks good. I might just bring that down a little bit. And basically, in mobile view, in the editor, you can just play around with the placements on each page. So the same as the desktop editor, our story, just quickly scroll down, discount club, Yeah, it looks good. Contact. Yeah, it looks good. There's nothing out of place there. And you can see the menu item then becomes here. Look, where you can see it says menu. So if I flip now back to the desktop view and then come back to my home page, yep, all good there. And the button still looks good. If I quickly just go back to a mobile, yeah, the button looks good again. So I'm happy with this now. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. And what we did there is we just flipped to the mobile editor within the page editor and just made sure everything was placed okay. So at this point, I'm happy with the website. I'm going to go ahead and click publish. And then what that has done is publish the website live onto the internet. But what you'll notice is you're currently using a Wix site domain name, and we obviously don't want this. We want to connect our brand domain name so that when our customers type our .com brand domain name into their internet browser, this website loads. So we're going to do that in a second. But for now, I'm just going to hit view site. And there you go. That site is now public and available on the internet. Cool. And because we're still using the free plan, it has this bar across the top. When you upgrade your account, it will remove the Wix branding and allow us to add a domain name. So let's jump in and do that now. So I'm going to come back to the editor. I'm going to hit upgrade now. And that's going to bring us through to the options. Now I'm seeing the pricing in pounds sterling because I'm based in the UK. However, this will most likely show in dollars for you. The one we need is combo. So this is showing us £6 a month for me, which is about $10 or so. So I'm going to go ahead and click select. At this point, you can choose to pay yearly and save money, or you can pay monthly. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay monthly and click select. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter my card details and click submit purchase. Okay, so I entered my card details, my payment information. I click submit purchase and it tells me congratulations, your site is premium. So now I need to actually connect my brand domain name, my .com domain name, so that when customers type that into their internet browser, it loads this website. So Wix is going to try and sell you obviously a domain name through their platform. And if you haven't registered the domain yet, this is a perfectly viable option. However, I've already registered my domain name with Namecheap.com. So at the bottom, I need to click already have a domain. I'm going to click connect it. And Wix is then going to instruct us on exactly how to do that. So I'm going to click connect to domain you already own. And my domain name is vervekitchen.com. Let's get rid of the space there and click next. And Wix is now going to look at the domain settings to understand exactly where we have registered that. Now we know that we registered that at Namecheap.com. And as you can see, yes, it's from Namecheap. So it's successfully recognized that we have done that at Namecheap.com. And it's going to walk us through exactly how to do it. So the first thing we need to do is load up Namecheap.com. So I'm going to open a new tab up and go to my Namecheap.com account. Sign into your account and then go to account and domain list. So account and then domain list. So it's going to ask me to sign in. Now I'm in my domain list. I need to click manage on the target domain. So I need to find my domain name. Now, if this is a brand new account, most likely you'll only have this one domain in there. If you already have a Namecheap account, you'll obviously have to search through your domain names. So I've got my vervekitchen.com here and I'm going to click manage. It then wants me to go to name servers, click the drop down and select custom DNS. So I'll come down where it says name servers. I'm going to click the drop down and click custom DNS. And then it wants me to enter these two DNSs. It wants me to change from what's currently set to these ones. So I'm going to copy that first one, come across, paste it into this first one here. And make sure there's no space at the end because it won't save if there's a space at the end. So make sure there's no space at the end of that first one. Copy that second one, paste that in also. And I'm happy with that. So I'm going to click the green tick to apply those settings. It'll take a second to update, but once it does, Namecheap will then update its domain database with the correct name servers. And you don't need to understand exactly how this works, but all this means is that when someone types in vervekitchen.com, there's a global database that will be checked, and the global database says if you want vervekitchen.com, then you should go and look at this web server, which is Wix's web server. And that's basically how DNS works. So I'll just wait for Namecheap. There you go, that's done. Now it can take up to 48 hours for this setting to take effect. Typically, in 2019, this really only takes a few minutes, especially for the first time you're changing the name servers. If it's the second or third time you're doing it, sometimes it'll take a few hours. One thing to do is when checking if it's worked or not, test it on your mobile phone or your cell phone internet connection, not the Wi-Fi that you're working on, because your local Wi-Fi router, like your home Wi-Fi internet router, can have a cache on there that saves it, and it might not show up for a couple of days. So the best thing to do is to use your smartphone not connected to your Wi-Fi, just using your mobile data, and that will give you a fresh look on whether this is connected or not. So it's only been like literally less than a minute. So if I was to copy this note and see if it's working or not, there you go. As you can see, it's already updated. And you generally find the first time you do this with a domain name, it is pretty much instant nowadays. So as you can see, now vervekitchen.com is loading the website that I've just built, and it looks pretty good, and it looks pretty credible and trustworthy in terms of having a brand website. So that's done. And then we're going to come down and we're going to click verify connection, and Wix is just going to go ahead and confirm, and as you can see, Wix can see it as well. Now if Wix tells you it can't see it yet, just wait a few hours, 4 or 5 hours, come back and try again. Still not working, wait up to 24 hours, try again. If it's still not working after 48 hours, then there's probably something wrong. So you want to double check your settings in Namecheap and ensure that you've set the right name servers, and if it's still not working, then use Wix's support. And there's a support option up here, there's a help documents up here. Use their support and tell them that you're struggling to connect your domain your domain name to your Wix site, and they will support you. You've also got the community, so create a post in the community, and one of our mentors can also help getting you connected.